Hello everyone, Another Trey here, and welcome to episode 29 of Another Trey's Let's Play Modded Minecraft for version 1.21. Today, I want to work on automating Sculk. So that is the block that's normally found down in the ancient city and the deep dark where the warden is. And we actually need Sculk blocks in order to keep running our Shadow Pulse goo for just dire things, which we automated last episode. And so I want to make a way that we can automatically harvest that consistently. And the best way to do that I've seen is the way that Direwolf did it himself. So this is going to be very similar to a thing that he did in his series. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Sculk Catalyst. Now this is a vanilla mechanic, so you're going to have to bear with me as I kind of like fumble my way through doing this because I've never actually done this build before, but we're going to try it out. So what we're going to do is place this catalyst. I would like to turn this off. In order to do that, we're going to need some light. So can I grab... I keep forgetting that we don't need to run anywhere anymore when we need stuff. So if we do a lamp, and just like... a light blue is there. We've been doing light blue, right? So light blue, blue Illimar lamp, light blue. There's the light blue. This one, is it this one? Why is it so hard to tell which lamps these are? Light blue Illimar lamp. That's what we want. All right. So then we need some of this. That gets us one of those, and then we need some more of those, and that gets us our light blue Illimar lamp, kind of. Blue Illimar lamp. Cool. Okay. So now that we have that, we should be able to make our way into the ceiling here. How far down does this go? All right, so this is the roof of the spawning room. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this a 5x5 room in here? No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3. This is the middle of the room. If I break this and I put a lamp here, do we have any of those redstone wires, or is this not something we've delved into this series? Because I really like those. So let's do that. Let's go ahead over to our main room over here. We should see that that lamp is like right in the middle of the room now. Yeah, that works. Let's go ahead over to our system here and let's look up a mod called Project Red. There's a couple different versions of this mod out right now. There's also More Red, which I don't prefer quite as much. This one's more of a spiritual successor to Project Red from back in the day. Red Power is what it used to be called. So we're going to need red alloy ingots, and red alloy ingots are made by smelting red alloy compounds. So if we get like 9 of these and then we go and smelt them up. Come here. Come here. There we go. Should be able to go like that. Yep. And that's going to get us a bunch of this red alloy wire. This stuff is nice. It's just like redstone, except instead of only running it like this, and you can like run it in like branches and things, you can also run it up walls and over ceilings and pretty much anywhere that you can stick it to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this. I really like these. They also have an unlimited range as far as I know. There's some funny stuff that happens. When this mod first came out, Redstone didn't have like a limited range that it could transfer signals like it does now. So still kind of trying to figure out how this is starting to work with that system. I'm pretty sure it just like infinitely still sends its range. So I want to put, I want to avoid, this should be ignored, low, high. This should be ignoring redstone. I don't want it to interact with redstone. I kind of want to be able to put stuff behind this at some point, so I don't really want to put the switch there. I think we're going to go ahead and put the switch over here. Let's do this. what I'm going to do is take this redstone wire. This actually might not be enough. And we're just going to run it. Let's see. I think what we're going to do is just fill in this hole. And run the wire like this. And I want to go over there. So can we go this way? There are also ways which we could do this wirelessly, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think this should be fine. So right here's the wall. This is where our wire is. It's actually, I guess we'll just... Switch is going to be right here. So I think I'm going to... Oops. This digs so fast. We're going to put the switch here. So let's go ahead and make... Are there like... I think these... They're buttons. I think Project Red has buttons, like light up buttons. Luminax buttons. I thought Project Red had buttons, but maybe not. I kind of wanted a button that worked as a toggle, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. We can just use a lever. I don't really like the way that levers look. Are there any special levers? No. An industrial lever from Oratech, but... well, there's a framed lever. We could do that. Let's see what the framed lever looks like. I assume that it probably can look like anything, just like all the other framed stuff. So let's go like that. And then can we get one of these and make it look like that? That's cool. And then can we make the lever part look like something? No. Well, I mean, it looks better than a regular like stone lever. So that'll be cool. And then we'll go in here. Then this... Do that. Let's go ahead and run this up the wall here. And we should just be able to connect that like that. And we can do this. Close this off. Large tiles is the ceiling. Cool. I don't want too much of this to be open because we don't want random spawns up here. So let's go ahead and close this up. Shouldn't get spawns on top of this wire, I don't think, but let's close this up as much as we can anyway. And we actually went too far. This should be able to close up. Oop, we did not mean to do that because that's going to cut that off. Cool. All right, so then if we flip this switch, boop, the red wire comes on. That lamp should come on, and it does look like... If we do our light overlay, it does look like this turned up. Forgot we can't go out there because of our sword. Yeah, so that should do that. And then if we turn the light back off, we should start getting spawns again. Close this up. That will not work. Are getting spawns again. Yay. All right, so that's step one, is being able to turn the lights on and off. Step two, this Sculk catalyst. Let's turn this off. So the way, as far as I know, that Sculk catalyst works is that when a mob or an entity... Wait, oh, I forgot I got to take the sword out. When an entity dies... What is going on? Oh, it's still left-clicking me with no sword. All right, so let's... change this to target hostiles only. We got to remember to change that back though. Whenever an entity dies around a Sculk block, it will spread Sculk, and dirt should change into Sculk when it is exposed to enough of that. So let's go ahead and put this... Where do we want to put this? Do we just want to like... give it a special home here in the back? I think we could do a cool little section right here. Oh, where's my backpack? Let's put the Sculk catalyst here. And then put one of these here and one of these here, and then go like this and like this. We do need more frames. And gonna need 2 more of these. I think what we might actually want to do is, whoops, I didn't mean to break that one. Fill that in with that. Give me this guy back. And then we've got our little Sculk catalyst. Then if we go out here, we reactivate this with target all living, and we turn this back on. What we should see when things arrive and start dying, yep, it's going to start spreading Sculk all over this room. Yep, and the dirt blocks are actually changing into Sculk, which is pretty cool. Wow, it actually made one of those guys. I didn't know it would do that. All right, so let's turn that back off. Let's get our sword out of here. Let's change this to target hostile. And the next thing we're going to want to do is be able to collect the Sculk and all this other stuff. So like the Sculk Shrieker that I did not know it would generate. And are you? No, you're not my. Where's my hoe with the? Yeah, this one, Silk Touch. So we'll take that. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a block breaker that's going to just encompass this whole room. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make a block breaker. That's step 1. Did we make an advanced block breaker last time? No, we made a bunch of block placers, so we're still going to need the block breaker. Okay. You know what I just realized? That block breaker that's not a block breaker. Wait, is this a block breaker? What is this? No, it's a clicker. So the advanced block breaker, I think what we're going to do is put him here. And we're going to want to be able to get down here. Is this the side that has... No, that's the side that has a bunch of stuff running down it, right? This one has like 7. Yeah, this one has 2. So we're good here. So right here is where we're going to put the block breaker. Let's go ahead and break this for now. So that's a block placer. Did I make another block placer? I did. Let's go back and make a block breaker. So advanced block breaker. Cool. All right. I'm going to put him here, and we're going to set him up so that he is on an allow list. We want him to be able to break all the Sculk stuff. So we want him to be able to break Sculk. We want him to be able to break catalysts. We want him to be able to break shriekers. We want him to be able to break sensors. And I believe we want him to be able to break Sculk veins. And we want it to be our Celestigem hoe. We do want to give him, well, let's set up his range. So do we have the machine settings copier, right? Somewhere. Did we put that in our system? Is it in here? Yep, right here. All right, so then if we do him and right click on him, you're going to see that he's still in the wrong spot. Let's clear this. We do want it to go... in the right place. Nope, back one more. And then we need to go off to the left one. There, and that should put it in the middle of the room. Let's raise it up a little bit. I do want it to get all the way up to here. So I think that should hit that. Let's make it a little bit bigger on the, is it the Z? Yeah, I think that brought it forward one, so that should be perfect. So do we need this side? This energy peer-to-peer tunnel. Him to be right here. Let's get memory card. So this is our energy peer-to-peer memory. We'll do that. And what we should have to do now is get a little bit of the blazing cable, put it here and put it here, and everybody's got power. They're happy. Okay, so let's clear what he's showing. Let's put, so our Celestigem Hoe, this is the one that we keep on us. Let's actually make another one specifically for this. Should we make, we should probably actually make a really good one so that it can keep up with that better. So a Eclipse Hoe probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's do Eclipse Alloy Hoe. Yep, let's go ahead and take him. And he's going to need a Drops Teleporter. And he's also going to need, he's going to need to be enchanted with, he's going to need to be enchanted. Where'd my other hoe go? Did I put it in here? Oh, he's right there. So he's going to need to be enchanted with Silk Touch. Let's go ahead and see if we can get another Silk Touch enchantment. So you... we lost all of our enchantments. There we go. Or our levels. We're back to 100, right where we're supposed to be. And then let's go ahead and stick him in there. So Miner's Fervor, Nature's Blessing, Unbreaking. Nope, let's do this and see if we get... We got Fortune 6 there. So I'm going to do this for a little while until I find another Silk Touch, and then we'll be back and we'll continue with the build. All right, we got another Silk Touch there. We just got to take everything else off of this guy. And then if we go in here, we can type in Silk Touch. We'll get our Silk Touch book, bring it out of here, go back in here, get our Eclipse Alloy Hoe. Go to our anvil. Where did he go? Right here. This guy, along with Silk Touch. And then we need to give him his Drops Teleporter. Cool. Oh, the Drops Teleporter is going to put all of that stuff. I think we should just be able to just dump it in here, right? Because it's all four of those things, except for the Sculk. The Sculk is going to be a problem. Maybe we just put the Sculk there. It should drop it on the ground, and then we'll put it in there, and then he should be able to teleport it in there. So let's go ahead and... Actually, you know what? Let's get our first Sculk just manually so that we have it, and we can put it in that drawer. All right, so now if I throw him in there, he should automatically start breaking all this stuff. We can make this go a little bit faster. So there's twice a tick. The other problem is going to be we need a block placer to put the dirt back. And oh, you know what? Guess who has a ton of block placers? This guy. All right, let's go ahead and this. And then he is going to place dirt back where that sculk is being removed from. So let's go ahead and run it back to the middle of the room again. Oops. So is that the middle? No, bring it back one more. That should be the middle of the room. And then if we go that, do 3.5. Is it 3.5? No, 3. 3 should be the whole way across the room. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And then we'll take the Y down one, and that should put it at that level. Then all we should have to do is grab some dirt. He doesn't have power. Let's go ahead and fix that up real quick. Okay, and then boop. That should give him some power. Cool. All right, then if I throw some dirt in here, he should fill in that hole. We'll make him go faster. The problem we're going to have is this guy's going to run out of dirt. Where can I guess it's just as easy as... Yeah, let's go ahead and get an export bus. Which can go here. And then do we have any covers, these guys? Yep, and then goes there. Let's put our cover there. This needs to be dirt. And he should get filled up with dirt as soon as we finish this connection. Do we have any more Flux cables? We got tons of Flux cables. We overproduced. And, yep, he's slowly going to fill up with dirt. We could probably make that a little faster. Let's go ahead and get our acceleration cards. You can take, is it 4? You can actually take 5, but I don't think we're gonna need that much. That should be fine, because that'll just keep them filled with a stack of dirt. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and turn off the render on that guy. Then, if I turn the lights back on, we should see mobs die. Oh, except, do we have our sword? No, let's put our sword back in here. All living. All right, so we should see Sculk is generated, but it's quickly eaten up by our system. Although, that's starting to spread pretty fast. Maybe we make this even faster. 3/4 of a tick. Even faster? Wow. So that works really quickly. Let's go ahead back over to our system and see how fast we're bringing in the Sculk. Up to 125 already? Oh yeah. This guy's a problem. He's already full. So let's go ahead and do an upgrade. We're going to need 2 of these, and we're going to need 2 of these. One here, and one here, and one here. And that should make it so that we get tons and tons of Sculk-related items. Yeah, a bunch of the Sculk fell on the ground because the drawer filled up right away, but... should be good now. It'll all get deleted once it reaches the cap, which is already super high. So we'll throw those guys in there. We're almost at 1,000 Sculk veins already. And I saw something. Can we cook these? Can we make food out of this? Is that part of one of the delight mods? Let's find out. Cooked Sculk vein gives us some food. And then what other food? That wasn't very good food. What other food can we make out of it? Nothing. You can use it for other like food power generation and stuff, but you don't actually cook it into anything. You just eat it, and it's not very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and boop. Okay. So that build's done. We now have our unlimited Sculk set up. We're up to 188. We should occasionally bring in some of these guys too. We did see one Shrieker pop in earlier. That is going up so fast. That's crazy. It only breaks one block every 1/20th of it, or every 1/20th of a second, right? Oh, it's still dropping on the ground because it can't keep up with it fast enough. So we're actually gonna make this go a little slower because obviously the game can't keep up with the amount of this stuff that's dropping. We may have to, I mean, it already is essentially being placed in a trash can when it goes into that void drawer. So we should be good. We're not, oh, we ran out of dirt in our system. So that's a problem. Let's go ahead and shut this off. We have so much experience. I'm going to go ahead and change this. We're going to go on a little adventure here because I hear things making noise that shouldn't be. And we have Sculk all through here, which is probably not good. Let's go ahead. Do we have our... Let's get our hoe. Ooh, we created our own mini deep dark. This is kind of cool. So I guess this is, can stone also be turned into Sculk? Is that what I'm seeing here? Because I doubt this was all dirt under here. So what we're probably going to need to do is replace this all with artificial blocks. So like, let's go ahead and make some factory blocks. And what I think I'm gonna do is make some of these like warning blocks. And then can we break this? What I think I want to do is replace, like make a big box here. So that we're completely encased in artificial blocks. To prevent the spread of this, because that's pretty crazy. All right, so I'll be back once I replace all this. All right, I think that should do it. Let me climb out of here. And then that should close up. All right, so we have so many resources. I'm just going to delete all this because we don't need any of it. And we're going to throw our iron and diamond back in there. This extra Sculk guy, these Sculky guys can go in there. And so I'm not sure if stone can be turned into Sculk. We're going to do a quick experiment. If I open up the system here and I get some stone and we put that in here, because if that's true, we're not even going to use dirt. We're just going to use stone. We're just going to experiment with these couple pieces. Let's turn the light back off. We do have to change this to target everything so that it'll hit those slimes. I'll put our sword back in. So yes, it does look like smooth stone can be turned into Sculk. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off again real quick. Let the system there take care of itself. We're going to go back downstairs. Where did wand go? So we're gonna go back under here. So this is where I closed everything up, and it does look like that stopped the spread, which is really good. And then we're gonna go back over to here, and we're gonna tell this that instead of providing dirt, you're gonna provide smooth stone, which should be even easier because we have an infinite supply of that. And it's gonna fill all that in with smooth stone slowly. Cool. And then when we turn this back on, we'll set this to, whoops, we want to leave this on left click. We want to change this to, we already had it on the right place. And we're just gonna turn the light on. Still good. So we now have a mob spawner that gives us insane amounts of levels. It automatically generates Sculk. When we have the Knowledge of the Ages sword out of here, it will give us all kinds of mob drops. Yeah, that looks like an even better mob spawning build. I'm going to let this run just to make sure there's no issues with the Sculk generating everywhere. Make sure it doesn't leak out here or anything, or out of the corners around this door. And if there's any problems, I'll let you guys know in the next episode. But I think for now, that's going to be called a completed build for the day. Next episode, I believe we're going to start working on our quantum computer. I think that's the next thing I want to do. And maybe expanding our applied energistic system down here as far as our peer-to-peer tunnels, getting them set up for the rest of the base. But first things first, I want to do the quantum computer so that we have insane levels of crafting. But thanks for joining me for this one, guys. If you liked the episode, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.